More finger pointing coming your way. You do it all the time. You go, you.
Hi everybody, welcome to Archimarathon.
Andrew Maynard.
Kevin Huey. We are so privileged to be able to show you the inside of the Australian Academy of Science in Canberra.
The Shrine Dome. That's what it's called.
It's called the Shine Dome.
Not Shine Dome?
Yeah,
because it's shiny now.
No, it's called the Shine Dome because it's named after a patron who spent a shitload of money to refurbish.
It is the Shine Dome, not Shrine Dome. Have I been reading it wrong?
Shine Dome.
Shit, it is Shine Dome. I thought it was Shrine Dome.
So, first lesson of Archimarathon, never listen to Kevin. Roll intro.
Just get on the roof and roll down.
Should I do that? Roll intro.
The roof was damaged, what, in a massive hailstorm?
A few months ago.
A few months ago.
Yep.
And they had to replace pretty much the whole roof. So it's now extra shiny.
Yeah.
It's got fresh copper and you rarely get to see it like this. So if you want to come to Canberra and see it this way, get down here.
The interesting thing was that they went through a huge heritage consultation before they decided on doing this. It needed to be repaired because the hail had made a lot of the copper lift. They decided to leave the original copper underneath because they were afraid of they weren't sure how it was built and whether they would actually damage more structure. So the original copper's underneath this copper.
Double skin.
Double the protection. It's interesting his approach to Canberra because they're just building in paddocks with no context. He has just done yet again this sort of centralised symmetrical structure. It's really freed him to be able to do something that doesn't have to relate to multiple orientations. That means he's got a really rational structure.
Geometry.
Geometry,
He's very strong on geometry. I think it'll always work.
Yeah. Which has this underlying structural basis to it. This, at the time, was the largest dome in Australia. So he's obviously interested in the way that we build and the emotive nature of structure.
But to work with geometry, you become a geometry slave. There's only so many rules you can work within. And I think all his work is done really well with geometry. It's actually very hard to be rigorous with geometry.
Yeah.
It's just so easy to make a shape and go, oh, too hard to follow these rules and you break it. But no, he's always followed through. And
it punishes you. You can see that with the offices, like the way that he's drawn a circle and then he's drawn the inner circle, which is the theatre, and then he has to have rational spaces like offices. And so he's got this corridor. It all works beautifully. This isn't a criticism, but you can tell that it's really difficult to then cut chunks of internalised spaces out of that open circle that he's created.
Well, it's easier on the perimeter where the light needs to be for the offices. You just take the radius lines, it's less crazy angle when it's further away from the centre.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. He's avoided creating triangular spaces, which you can often do when you do the pizza cut on a circle.
But yeah, this is science.
Yes, science!
Rockets and going to the moon and all kinds of stuff.
The age of the space race.
The space race.
So this is part of the Australian National University. It is open. You can come here and check it out any time. It's not always open inside, but definitely come and have a walk around next time you're in Canberra. It's so worth seeing. So the main entry, but there's also two other entries. So the dome comes down into a moat. We've got your little drawbridge that comes across.
Curved, yeah.
Yeah, they've added
as well.
Glazing. That's a good point, Kev. This is curved like the bottom side of the landings that we'll see soon. Huh. Let's have a look. Wow, look at this. Isn't this incredible? And then the curves of the steps on there.
Oh, wow.
And this is the other entry on the other side. So I guess when there's
that's a bridge, yeah.
Look at the curves on the steps, and they're actually cantilevered off the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, Kev, there's drawings here. The original drawings. And they were going to be continuous landings and treads instead of separate.
Yeah, this is much more beautiful.
Come and have a look in the theatre. Isn't this great? It's really tight, just old curtains.
A little curtain, yeah.
Yeah, and then you come in and check that out. More on theme.
Wow.
the domed sort of lights. And then there's
Reflected.
no stairs here. It's actually a ramp going all the way around.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, and look at this, Kev. This is, it's not solid.
timber?
It's actually, there's
Oh, no.
timber and string. So this must be for acoustics. Yeah.
Strings. Twang, twang, twang.
And so you've got all of these seats. I almost fell over there because of the angle. But then there's also another mezzanine going around the top there.
Oh, yeah.
So you can fit quite a few people in here.
And then it curves around.
So, Kev, each one of these is like this wrapping timber form that goes around, but they're actually carpeted on the inside. And then they feel a lot like, it feels a lot like getting into a car. You've got the armrest, there's even the moulded bit here.
It's got pedals.
No pedals, bumper cars. But this was 1958, I think. So cars were definitely around by then, but this was, I guess, it's the science centre, so this was meant to be revolutionary and cutting edge. Oh, look at this bit. Have you seen this?
No.
It's got this little place where you can put your iPhone. 1958, they were already thinking about iPhones.
Cool. Oh, what's that?
I don't know what that is.
It's your wireless charging. Put your phone on it.
Oh, is it?
Bant, bant.
I don't think that's how it works.
Look at these end pieces.
End pieces.
Yeah. It's like little sleds, really.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's just sleds coming down the hill
Yeah.
in a row.
And then this one is straight, but then after that they start
Curving.
curving a little bit. So each module's identical, but it's the way they've stacked it. It reminds me of John Andrews' student housing. Create a module in a nasty green and then just start to curve them away.
That is cool.
And chalkboards, old school. So you're giving a lecture here and you need to write things on the board big enough for the people at the back to see.
Well, you got the elbow patches. You look like a professor.
Oh, Professor Maynard. It's all in situ concrete structure up to a certain point, and then it actually changes to a timber structure for the rest of the dome. It doesn't look like that from the outside. From the outside, it just looks like concrete clad in copper. But if you look at the early construction photos, you can see it's concrete and then timber above. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just finished giving my lecture, Kev.
Dork.
So this, what is it, shotcrete under here, and it's also on the ceiling and on each of these steps. But the cool thing is that when you get on a step, it's actually the same stone. So this is similar to...
yeah, like the Heidi.
Heidi, yeah, in this episode, where the floor stone is actually on top of it as well.
And it's expressed as a separate layer.
And then so each of these is cantilevering off the wall. So all this load is going back to the wall. And then this is actually a curved landing. It doesn't touch the glass. So that means the structure has to span from one wall to the other, but they're not parallel.
Beautiful diffused light too.
Oh.
Using that curve.
And these are just standard fluoro fittings. They've just added this little bit of colour.
Blade, yeah.
Simple. This is awesome. Even the way the stone's cut is in the same geometries, so they've had to cut each bit of stone in the floor to splay outwards.
Yeah.
And so up here, we're at the upper level, so when there's overflow and they need more
Oh,
seating.
a beautiful screen and the shadow of the screen just that you're standing in front of.
But this is the acoustic screen as well, so downstairs we saw
the little strings, yeah. Oh, it's just a continuation of it, that's it.
And so then you get that play of light. That's awesome. So places sit here. There's a little, what I assume is a light. So if it's all dark, you can take notes. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, yeah.
And then if there's even more overflow, you can sit back here.
Cool people in horn rim glasses.
What?
Horn rim glasses, you know, the whole 50s look?
Cool people in horn rim glasses. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Do you know what he's talking about? Leave a comment.
Like you don't know those kind of glasses?
No.
I think you need to watch some Apollo 13 or something.
Oh, okay.
You know those
Yeah,
glasses
really
with a little
nerdy.
metal bit, but like thick.
I know what you
And
mean.
then there's the
I
little
know what it
wire.
means now.
Horn rim glasses.
And some of them are higher than the others. Why is that, Kev? Is that for older people that can't sit so low?
Like you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's been done later because that's just got little chocks of pine shoved under it.
Oh yeah.
The original metal brackets, and then they've just chocked it up.
Oh yeah.
Because these surprisingly do feel a bit too low. Oh, you can't see. Oh, they've chocked them up because then you can see the blackboards, where over here you can't see the blackboards. And more of these dots. I want to know what these dots are. Unless you had a gavel, and if you wanted to ask a question,
Donk donk.
because that's kind of like in a courtroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
You broke it.
I didn't break it. It was like that when I
You
got
broke
here.
it. It's on record now.
The shotcrete stops, and then it gets kind of smooth where the lighting hangs
What's
down.
shotcrete, Andrew?
Shotcrete is getting cement, putting it in a big hose, and then blasting it at something. So when you get that really fluffy look of concrete, it's actually being shot at it. Shotcrete. All the technology. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? The bits.
Oh, look at yeah. No, but look at this bit.
What's that one?
The double layer screen.
Oh, and that's a grill behind, so probably for air, because there would have been pretty serious noisy technology in here. There's also glass that's angled, so you don't get reflection.
Yeah,
coming
for
back.
the projectors.
It is not a big space in there. But those continue, so I reckon that's return air in each of those.
That would make sense.
Would you like to do some B-rolls?
Yeah.
Kev, look at this.
Oh, wow.
Planters.
Oh, wow.
So this is right at one of the main entries.
That's cool.
Isn't it cool?
And they're like perfectly spaced too. They're like in line, in line, in line.
Oh, and right, yeah, where the stone joint is. as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's symmetrical on both sides. I also love the fact that the scale of this, that landing is, yeah, right there.
And it's just,
And then it's
oh, and it curves down like this and then it goes around the other way.
so beautiful.
Wow. Oh, and look at this too. Fat one, thin one, fat one, thin one, fat one, thin one.
I wonder why they've done that. Couldn't be structured. No, it's not structural.
No, just nice play of rhythm. Got the main ones in the center and then the sort of auxiliary one in the middle. And there's overlap.
Isn't it amazing how modest that entry is?
Yeah.
They've kept it
Just-
so small.
Just check behind this curtain. 1958,
58, I think.
wow. Before the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good decade before the moon.
It was the first building in Canberra to be get on the National Heritage List.
Right.
Yeah. So that shows how young Canberra is. So you enter and then you can go into the modest little entry on that side, or you can come in this way to the function space.
Oh.
And in Kevin's ongoing theme of geeking out about lining stuff up,
It's not my theme.
you can see the structure here as it comes through, the ceiling structure lines up with the middle of the arch or with the centre of the arch as it comes down, and then each of the mullions works off that. Little doors to go out so you can spill out from this conference space out to that
Out to the moat
Undercroft.
and do whatever you do at the moat.
There's original drawings, Kev. Look, great elevation. Look, there was going to be some sort of patterning or
like
artwork.
yeah, screened glass.
And I think that there's not that many skylights in it. But you mentioned flying to the moon, the space race. This has got that whole space aesthetic about it, sci-fi aesthetic. This seems very thin. This can't be structurally accurate.
It's a dome, man. It's a dome. Eggshell.
This bit's concrete, and then that bit's timber. Academy of Science Canberra. Who's this one by? Slightly more ambitious.
Bolin, Murphy, and McIntyre.
Yeah, okay.
Kevin Bolin and Peter McIntyre. So it's similar aesthetics. I think it's obviously of the time.
Yeah, well, Roy Grounds said that he was just simply trying to be another hill, because from the centre of Canberra you look across ANU And then the hills beyond, he just wanted to have another little dome that was a man-made hill.
What's that one over there?
This one here, Hassel McConnell Architects. So it was
Hassel?
a design competition.
Yeah.
Very modernist. And then this one, a model of a little spaceship landing, an egg.
An egg.
Don't know who that's by.
Robert G. Warren, don't know.
Here's a plan. Always go to the emergency exit drawings to see the plan. So, conference area that we're in, the main entry.
Well, the 2 entries.
Well, these ones you can deliver speakers into, or you can deliver people straight into the theatre. Or this one is more, I guess, it is the front entry.
That's the main foyer. Over here, reception.
Yeah. And you could imagine that working really nicely. Come in here, have a mingle, go around into the lecture, and spill back out into a conference space.
So,
he started with so. Soho. Go on, start again. Smarts. It's smart.
well, I need to shut you up. Like,
Yeah.
It's like,
The only way is to kick him in the nuts. That's the Andrew off button. Go on.
Rochambeau.
All right, I'll Rochambeau you for it. Ready?
Hey, where's he going?
Goodbye, Robert Smith. Thank you for your help. Visit us again. Disintegration is about